Hello, and right now we are going to be doing our first review. This is our mid-module review for Module 1, and we are going to be going over everything that we learned in this module, starting with rounding numbers. So we talked about rounding numbers in this module and using a number roller coaster. I'm just going to quickly draw the number roller coaster. You could draw it on your whiteboards as well. Here is my roller coaster. We have numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, and those numbers when rounded are going down. And then we have numbers 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and those numbers are rounding up. So the number that we're going to round today is 935,292. It says we have to round it to the nearest thousand, then 10,000, then 100,000. So to round it to the nearest thousand, we're going to have to underline the digit in the thousands place, which is 5, and circle the digit next door, which is 2. Let's look at our rounding roller coaster. Well, 2 is rounding down, so the other numbers become 0, making our number rounded to the nearest thousand, 935,000. Next, we're going to have to round to the nearest 10,000. That's a digit right next door to that 1,000 unit. So if you said 3, you're right. And of course, we're going to circle the digit next door, which is 5. Let's take a look at the roller coaster. The digit 5 is going up on the roller coaster. So we're going to have to add 1 more to 3, making our new number rounded to the nearest 10,000, 940,000. Now we have 1 more rounding to do for this number, and they said to round to the nearest 100,000. Which digit is in the 100,000s place? If you said 9, you're right. And which digit do we circle? If you said 3, that's correct. So 3 on our rounding roller coaster is rounding down. All of the other digits will now become 0. We're going to rewrite it as 900 with a comma. So that just means that our number rounded to the nearest 100,000 is 900,000. Okay, if we look at these numbers, we notice that if we round to the nearest 1,000, the other digits after the thousands place become 0. That's what it means when we round to the nearest 1,000. We want to get it to the closest 1,000 without any 100, 10s, and 1s. It's the same thing for our 10,000 unit. After the 10,000, which is that digit in the 4, all of them become 0 because the closest 10,000 unit is 40,000. And of course, for our 100,000, that after the 9, all of the other digits become 0. So the closest 100,000 unit is 900,000 to this number. And now you could try this one. You could pause the screen. All right, now we have a word problem. And in this unit, we talked about word problems in real life. We want to know, do we have enough if we round a number? Which number could we round to be prepared for any scenario? And let's go ahead and read this problem that says that there are 16,850 star coffee shops around the world. Round the number of shops to the nearest 1,000 and 10,000. Which answer is more accurate? Explain your thinking. Well, let's go ahead and use our strategies. I did add a place value chart at the bottom in case you needed to see where exactly those units are. And now I'm going to rewrite 16,850. I'm going to start by rounding it to the nearest 1,000. And of course, this symbol means that it's the number rounding is approximately that much. The nearest 1,000 unit, okay, so 6 is in the thousands place and 8 is being rounded. When we have 8 there, we know that 8 goes up on the roller coaster, so we're going to add 1 more to 6, making our number 17,000. So if we round this number to the nearest thousand, we see that we actually have 17,000 coffee shops. Okay, let's round our 16,850 to the nearest 10,000. The unit in the 10,000s place is 1, and the digit next door is 6. 6 also goes up on the roller coaster. So that means our number rounded to the nearest 10,000 unit would be 20,000. Which answer is more accurate? Well, the digit in the rounding to the nearest thousands place is more accurate for this scenario. If we're thinking about how many coffee shops there are and we want to give somebody a close guess, 17,000 is closer to the actual digit than when we rounded to the nearest 10,000 unit, which made it 20,000. 20,000 is way too much, but 17,000 is just right. It is closer to the 16,000. We could also remember our number line. We had a high point and a low point. So we see our high point here would be 17,000, and our low point would just be 16,000. The number in between would be 16,500. But where would 16,850 go? When I say that number, I made an emphasis on the digit 8. 8 is bigger than 5. So that means that it would go towards this high point here, making 17,000 its closest unit when rounding. Let's take a look at what it looks like if we were to round it to the 10,000s place. We're going to draw the same number line, except this time we're going to have our 20,000 at the top, and then at the bottom, and then we're going to have our 15,000, and then we're going to have, 15,500, and then 15,000. We talked about this as counting up by fives to find the midway point. And so where would 16,800 go? Well, we know that it'll be closer to this unit than the 20,000. All right, so now what we also did in this unit was compare units. We talked about the crocodile eating the biggest number, okay? And now these numbers are in expanded form. We have to put them together, and they're all over the place. So I see that I noticed that there's 1,000 in this number. So that means I know the number has 4 digits. I'm just going to write the 4 digits out here. And it says we have 4 in the 1,000 spot. So I'm going to write 4 and then our comma. Do we have any hundreds? Yes. And do we have any tens? There's 27 ones, so that's how many tens. Next, we're going to rewrite this number as 6,400. Which number is bigger? Okay, if you said the crocodile's eating this number, you're correct. Because 6,400 is larger than 4,727, and we know that because 6 is larger than the 4 in the thousands place. Next, we talked about what number has 6 zeros, and that's 1,000,000. And then we said 10,100,000. Well, what does that look like? You could go ahead and draw it out and try it yourself. Later on in that unit, before all of this, we talked about multiplying by 10. which is to add a 0 at the end. And this time we're going to do it in our place value chart. So I'm going to start off by writing the digits 1, and then 10, then 100, then 1,000, then 10,000, 100,000, and then a million. That has our 6 zeros. We are now multiplying by 10. However, the digit we're actually going to put into the chart is 310,000. So right now I'm going to put 3 in the 10,000 spots, and these other numbers become 0, making this number our 30,000. When we multiply by 110, all the digits are just moving over 1. So that means this 3 would move over to the 100,000s place. And so with these zeros, they'll just move to the next unit by multiplying by 10. So when we rewrite the number, we actually have 10,000, which actually equals 300,000. So that means that 10,000 times 10 would give us 300,000. And that's it for our review.